The Milwaukee Brewers have a massive problem on their hands. They have dropped in the series down 3-0 with Game 4 coming tonight and a chance that this team gets eliminated. We're going to be breaking down what the Brewers absolutely have to do if they want to stay alive in this series, as well as multiple other updates, all as well coming from Jackson Chourio on his injury status as well. Before we do jump into this video though, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you one favor, and that's if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. Join me here on the channel. We know just over 74% of you guys watching right now have not done so already. We want this Brewers team to win. We need this Brewers team to win, and we're going to be getting videos out daily, regardless of what happens. You won't want to miss it, but we need to jump straight into this, because today is the day that the Brewers have to put everything behind them and win. There is no other choice at this point. They've come down to this point in the season where they have one game left, and if they do not win this game, it is all over. This season would be considered a waste for many people. Now, there's a few things over the last few games that we've seen from this Dodgers series that have really set us in a direction where we can very easily tell what this Brewers team needs to do to get back in the win column and keep their season alive, and that is turn up the offense. And you're getting a lot of reports here, and we do have a bunch here in this video of stuff just like this. The Brewers have the fewest hits on only 9 through 3 games of a playoff series in nearly 120 years. That is an absolutely ridiculous stat. Keep that in mind when we keep on going through all of this stuff. And no words to describe good, how good the Dodgers pitchers have been. And that comes from Pedro Martinez as well. And yes, the Dodgers pitchers are good, but this Brewers team won the most games in the regular season for a reason. They are a good team, and the fact that they have only had 9 hits through 3 games with 3 starters being on the mound and only a handful of innings where the bullpen of the Dodgers has been in the game, this tells us right now that something has to change on the offense. Whatever it is, something needs to change. And with hitting 101 as a team in the NLCS against the Dodgers, there's no way you could possibly win it. I don't care if the pitchers are out here throwing no-hitters. It don't matter. You would still lose these games if you're batting 101 in the entirety of the NLCS series. That has to change, and it has to spark tonight. There are a bunch of moves that can be made, and I'm going to talk about a few here, but there's some obvious ones. I spoke about one. At this point right now, you absolutely have to sacrifice the defense. You have to get anybody out there that cannot hit, one name being Joey Ortiz. He has to come out of the lineup. You need to get someone in there at shortstop who may be worse defensively, but can hit the ball. Whether that is Isaac Collins, whether that is Andrew Monasterio, I give both of those guys a shot today here at the plate, regardless of what happens. You need your guys hitting. You need Christian Yelich to get back in it. It starts with him, and it goes down the roster from there. Having him in this lineup as someone who is a leader on this team but has been absolutely awful throughout this series is a big loss for this team in the postseason, but also is a big spark as to not being able to light up the offense. And that's something I think comes out with this quote here from Christian Yelich as well. I mean, the way that he kind of describes it, they're not going to roll over. We know that, but they need to make a change very soon. He says, look, we're in a big hole. We have to break it down into the little goals. Our goal right now should be to get the series back to Milwaukee and worry about the rest of the stuff later. We've got to win 4 in a row, and obviously we can't 4 before you win 1. So this is a big thing. Obviously it's step by step at a time. I like that Christian Yelich is thinking, hey, we have to win 4. There's no other choice, but we have to win 1 game. You can't win 4 before you win 1. So this team is still heading in that right mindset, but whether that mindset can translate to actually the play that they have on the field, mainly at the plate, is going to be the big question. You have to be aggressive, but you can't be too aggressive. You get a runner on, you have to try to advance them regardless. You get runs. You have to get some dirty runs here in this game, and especially with who we're seeing tonight, and at least from what we know right now, Shohei Ohtani, you have to get to him early. You have to make sure that he is a non-factor. You have to make sure that you rattle this team, and it's not easy, but we've seen the Brewers do it before, and with what we've seen from our pitching staff, they've done everything. So this is not on the pitching staff anymore. They've done their job. They know they have to continue to do their job, but it's now on the hitting. These guys can't go out and hit. These guys are locking everything down. I mean, Miz going into yesterday's game, throwing 5 innings, 9 Ks, having Ashby in for 1 out. That didn't work, obviously. Have him, starting 3 games in this series. not what we wanted to see at all, especially heading to the last game. But at this point right now, these guys that you're seeing on your screen and the rest of the bullpen, the rest of the starters, they've done what they had to do. They've done what they can. And going into this game now, it's on these players that we just showed right here. There is no excuse at this point. So heading into this game, like I said, whether it's taking Joey Ortiz out, whether it's taking a few of these other guys out, moving things around, putting a full lefty lineup in if it's a righty against Shohei Ohtani, whatever you have to do, you need to clear the bench here on this game. You have to get all your pinch hitters in. You have to do whatever you can to get bat on ball runs across the plate. No excuses at this point. And I mean, like I said, Shohei Ohtani coming into this, he's not invincible. We've seen him one game, 4.50 ERA with 9 strikeouts. He's a guy that, although is still very good at the plate, and especially on the mound as well, his mound plate and his pitching this season has not been the best. So that should be a sign that the Brewers can get to this team. And if you're shutting down Shohei Ohtani, there's no doubt in my mind that you can shut down anybody else that you face against in the remainder of this series. And going into it, Pat Murphy as well knows what he has to do. And we also have a few more quotes of us coming out talking about the mindset. And Caleb Durbin had this to say: "We've done some amazing things this year, most wins in the Brewers' history. So if anybody can do it, we can." And, the mindset's there. Like I said, this Brewers team is going on this mindset. There's no doubt that they would have had the right mindset going into this. They still have it. But we need to focus one game at a time. Don't look until tomorrow. Don't look until the next day. Look at what we see tonight. After the game, that's when you start your thinking. And at this point right now, you have to assume everybody will be hands on deck, all hands on deck, whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the bench. Everybody has to be willing to go, because if you go and lose this game, it's done, like I mentioned. So expect to see whoever is starting, whoever it may be, every other pitcher down in this bullpen. I would also expect Miz to be able to go again today if needed, even after 5 innings. That's something that I think a lot of people are going to be wondering, and if that arm that he has will be able to hold it. But if you throw him in an inning or two, you have to at this point right now. If you're down by 1, up by 2, whatever it is, whatever the score is, you have to have your guys absolutely going. So that's just another thing I wanted to point out. But going into this game, as I mentioned, Pat Murphy has not announced anything. Game 3 was under construction. That was now, we found that out. Going into this game, still under construction. We don't know just yet. We're going to know sooner rather than later. I think the rosters will be announced sooner. Of course, it is a later game tonight, especially where we have, this game in LA, elimination game, but also the Blue Jays and Mariners are on before. So we have a bit of time before this roster gets, or actually, I should say, this lineup gets solved, this rotation gets figured out, and this is going to be something that we need to stick with going forward. But we do have a few more updates here. Like we said, Pat Murphy said that team is pretty good. We haven't shown our best, and that's what his reaction was to going down 3-0. Still, that's correct, but I want to see Pat Murphy have a bit more grit here on this. I want to sure, and I'm making sure we can pretty much assume that he will in this in the dugout, down in the room. We know he's going to be on top of these guys. This is the last chance this opportunity is. He's done it all season. There's no point of him stopping now. So expect a different looking Brewers team tonight. Of course, it's going to be a different mindset regardless. Going down 3-0 than going down 4-0. Major differences. So this team better have a different outlook, have some different players in, have some guys that will be willing to hit and, that are capable of hitting. Andrew Monasterio is, I think, my biggest one I want to see in. Let me know who your guys is. But we do have one more update before we do finish this video off. And coming from Adam McCalvey, Jackson Chourio said it was a cramp and he expects to play a game 4 tomorrow. You remember he was similarly optimistic in July, so we'll have to just wait and see. And once again, I really find it hard to see Jackson Chourio not being in this game, whether it is a cramp or not, and depending on the severity. You have to assume it will be, if it's any bit playable, you will have to assume that he will be in this game ready to go. So that's an update, that is still a bit worrisome just because of, he's one of the best players that we have on the team. The injury that's lingering, that hamstring, not ideal. But at this point right now, like I said, there's nothing to lose. Put it all on the line. Unless it is a major, injury or whatnot. Then you have to sit him. There's no doubt about that. Don't risk long-term health for, this game here. But ladies and gentlemen, we have one game left to prove that this Brewers team is capable of killing, and then we go game for game after that. But that's all I have in this one. Let me know what you think about tonight's game. We're going to have another video either today or tomorrow morning, so be sure to stick around, hit the sub button. But regardless of what happens, your sport's been phenomenal. I appreciate all of you guys here watching since we started this channel here throughout this season. And there's no sign of stopping, like I mentioned. Daily videos still going to be coming throughout the offseason. You won't miss it, but this is all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.